Just both of your guys' thoughts on the exhibition game, how that went from your perspective. I guess we can start with you, Corey.
I feel like we played great. Went out there and played hard. I feel like it was a chance for us to get to play against, I say, better opponents than we played in Bahamas, Big 12 school. I just felt like we was all ready and we was ready to just get out there and work.
And what about for you, Chuck? What were your takeaways from that game?
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. I think everybody was just finally glad to play against somebody else instead of going against each other every day. And, yeah, we played hard and we played together. That's the most important thing. And I think that's a big thing with this team. Guys want to compete and play, so, yeah.
I know we talked a lot about the playing style and playing faster. It seemed to show in that game. I think it was like 18 fast break points, 20 points off turnovers. I guess, is that kind of the system that you guys are looking to play? Did you replicate that in the game?
Definitely. Coach and them have been preaching that all summer, just getting up and down the court, playing faster. We even played practice with a 15-second shot clock just to get quick shots up and just learn how to play at that pace. So, yeah, that definitely was one of the big emphasis in that game. So,
I think you, like I said, I think you created 18 turnovers. What do you think was the key to being able to do that and kind of spark the offense?
18 turnovers, great. Dang, that's a lot. Yeah, I think just playing hard on the defensive end and being in gaps and having one another's back and having each other help, and that can lead to fast break transition points. So, yeah.
Corey, you led the team in scoring coming off the bench. I know you've been able to score at the junior college level. It seemed like at UTEP it was more like a third scorer role. I guess, what do you envision for yourself in terms of scoring for Nevada this year?
Mainly, I say, well, whatever the game, takes me. But some nights it may be my night, some nights it may be Chuck night. We a team and we try to feed off each other, and we try to do the best thing we can to get a win. So scoring is mainly not been my just focus, but mainly doing the little things like on the defensive side that may lead to fast break buckets and turnovers like we was just talking.
What was going well for you in that game offensively?
I was just saying confidence. Mainly, like you said at UTEP, I lost a little bit of confidence, and mainly Coach Ben just trying to emphasize that confidence factor in me and taking good shots and not getting my head down when I miss.
It seems like if you look at the starting lineup, you two are battling for one starting position. I mean, that could obviously change. I guess you guys have talked about the unselfishness of this team. I guess, Chuck, how would you kind of describe that situation?
I mean, like Corey said, one night it could be his night, one night it could be my night. I feel like we two guards at the same position that can score the ball really at a high level. So, I mean, every game you're going to get something different. Like he said, it might be his night, it might be my night. So, working together, that's one of the biggest things right now. So,
I know it's only an exhibition game, but it's a Big 12 team, and you guys go on the road and win it. I mean, is there confidence derived from that game from your perspective?
Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of confidence from that game. Like I said, it was just glad to be out and play against somebody else and to see where we were at. And I feel like we played pretty good as a team, and it was a good game for us, and we won. So that's the main important thing right now.
And then, Corey, you guys are 2 of 13 from 3, and you still win the game. I guess, is their confidence derived from that there are going to be better shooting nights, but this one you guys didn't really have it from long range and still had success?
Yeah, most definitely, especially not having a great shooting night and still being able to beat a Big 12 team. That's I feel like a lot of confidence comes from that we can do more than just shoot the basketball or just we can do other things well than just shoot threes.
Mm-hmm. Chuck, was there somebody who stood out in your eyes in terms of your teammates?
Like I said, competing. Last year I feel like we struggled with that, and we couldn't finish games last year. So that was the biggest thing on Friday, just finishing the game and competing at a high level. I mean, that really was mind blowing to me. See how the guys compete and play hard. So yeah.
What about you, Corey? Any individual teammates that kind of stuck out in your eyes, or you'd seen it in practice, now you got to see it in the game?
Yes, all season, Bun had 9 boards, and coming from a guard, that's big. And I think like 4 or 5 of them was offensive rebounds, so that helps the team a lot.
You guys got to the free throw line 27 times. I mean, is there like a figure you guys are trying to hit in terms of free throw attempts? Because it seems like this is going to be more of an up-tempo, attack the basket, not rely on threes so much kind of team.
If it was 27 times, I think we probably want to get there 27 times a game because I feel like we got the guys to make them. So, yeah.
Chuck, I mean, just a home exhibition game that's going to be a little bit different this Saturday, I guess. How much are you looking forward to that, just getting back into Lawler?
I'm excited to get back into Lawler and just show the people, like, what we've been working for all summer and how we've been working, and individually just how I've been working and got better over the off season. So yeah.
And then Corey, for you, your first game at Lawler, I guess what are you most looking forward to playing a home game here?
Just the environment. You know, these guys told me how it feels to play in front of the crowd. So I just want to go see it for myself.
Obviously, exhibition games, it might not be the exact rotation, but I guess how much are you guys trying to show Coach? Like, I need some minutes. Like, exhibition is going to matter in terms of how comfortable he is you playing you guys.
Yeah, definitely that. Just showing Coach that we can play hard. That's really the most important thing. I feel like basketball, if you just play hard, everything will work out itself. So yeah.
What do you think is driving the team to play hard? Because it seems like maybe that wasn't necessarily the case next year, just listening to you.
Everybody on this team love the game. Everybody love to get better. Everybody want to be in the gym. Everybody want to work. So that's definitely what's driving us.
And then Corey, I guess how would you describe the bond of these guys? Being one of the newer guys, but like there's 10 new guys and 4 returning guys. It is mostly new guys.
I feel like the bond is. It feel like it's always been there. I don't know how to explain it, but we have mostly new guys, but it feel like we known each other for a while. So I feel like the bond has been there since day one.
Thank you. Chuck, how would you compare the team this season to what we saw last year, whether it's personnel, play style, anything like that stands out to you?
Faster, more athletic, I feel like. We definitely can get up and down the court. And like I said, competing. Hey, I can't, there's nothing you can go wrong with that. These guys want to play hard. These guys want to get better every day. So, yeah.
What are some of the components of this year's team that makes the team faster and more competitive?
I feel like our size, I mean, we're not the biggest team, but everybody's athletic. Everybody can move. So, yeah.
Corey, what are some of the goals between now and Saturday that you guys want to improve on to showcase, the fans here what you can do in an exhibition game, whether it's you individually or the team?
I would say closing out the game better at the end of the game. The last game, we gave up, I think it was like 14 points at the end of the game that we shouldn't have. So I would say closing out the game better and just taking a 3-point game to a 10 to 12-point game.
I know what Chris was mentioning in terms of the rotations, and then obviously in exhibition games, coaches don't always throw everything that they have in the playbook out there. How similar are the games that we might see in the regular season compared to what we saw on Friday and maybe what we'll see this upcoming Saturday?
I think it's going to be very similar. I know last year they had a lot of close and tight games, and Mountain West, with being Mountain West, is a lot of good teams in the Mountain West. So I would say just trying to focus on closing out games and being on the winning side of it.
Just takeaways from the Utah exhibition and being able to get a win at a Big 12 school.
Yeah, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, our 18th practice. So since we got started to just see and be able to play against somebody else, we talked about that on the retreat, and the guys have done a great job all summer, Bahamas, fall, and then they started practice. So I think, it's just good to get to play somebody else. And like I told them after, just really like this team. I like our depth. I like our athleticism, how we compete. But I told him, I said, our ceiling's really high. We won an exhibition game on the road at a Big 12 opponent, and we got 3 of our 12 goals. It's not like we played perfect. We didn't shoot the 3 well. We did a lot of really good things in that game, but it's not like we were perfect to go in there and get that. So that's what I like the best, is that it'd be a little different if all of a sudden we played this perfect game, made everything, and executed the way we wanted to both ends, and that wasn't the case. So we got a lot of room for a growth, and that's what we're going to try to do this week going into the next game with Eastern Washington on 1 o'clock Saturday.
In terms of the pace and the creating turnovers and the fast break points, those all seem to be ticked up from last year. Is that exactly like what you were looking for?
That's exactly what we were hoping would happen through what they've done through the summer and how we've been wanting to play, not just offensively but defensively. I thought we turned them over. We had a lot of deflections. We were much more disrupted defensively, and offensively we had a great pace to what we were doing. And that's why I think we had 75, 76 possessions. And again, it's an exhibition game. It's very early. We haven't established any kind of habit yet. But for that to translate into what we've worked on all summer, we were really, really pleased with.
And then Corey coming off the bench leading you guys in scoring. I know that wasn't a primary thing at UTEP, but at junior college he scored a lot. In high school he scored a lot. Do you feel like he can be that guy for you, or is that just it was his night and that kind of role will trade off?
Yeah, I think what you saw is, and we saw that in the Bahamas again, not the competition we played at Utah, obviously, but we've seen it all summer. We've stat everything that's 4-on-4, 5-on-5, and if you look at those stats through the summer, and you look at the fall, the Bahamas, and now an exhibition game, having 4 guys in double figures and a fifth that had 9, I think, and I hope that's what we're going to look like, and that can vary who those 4 or 5 are. Like Von Weems can really score, Amir can really score. You're going to see different guys. Joel, we got to get him more touches inside coming out of that exhibition game. He can really score. So I think our depth of our ability to score is something that is a strength, but scoring out of our defense will really help us, and we did that a lot in this game.
You said you only had 3 of your 10 goals. I guess what are the biggest areas you want to see improvement before the game on Saturday?
Well, our OB defense, on the special team stuff, our OB defense on our out of timeouts, which again, it's early season, so we understand that, but we got to clean that up this week. I didn't like, and those are stoppage of plays. So sometimes that has to do with mental concentration and being able to concentrate through a stoppage of play. So we'll address that in films. Our gap defense was good at times, not good at times, so we'll address that. I think our transition defense, where I really, really liked our transition offense, our transition defense has got to improve. So I think those things, we took good shots. We didn't panic because the 3-ball wasn't going in. We just continued to attack the paint. We got to the free throw line. We did some really good things there. So, and after redoing the stats, we only had 10 turnovers. So to do an exhibition game on a Big 12 floor and have 10 turnovers playing at the pace we were playing, those are some real positives.
How similar do you see the rotation in a regular season game being what you guys did in this, or are you just a little bit more flexible in looking at things?
Yeah, we're going to be very flexible, just like we were in the Bahamas. We did the same thing here. We started one group in the first half, started another group in the second half, and we'll do that again against Eastern Washington. So we'll have a different 5 out there than what we had the second half of Utah, and then however we start Eastern Washington, we'll have another 5. So I'm really trying to just give everybody opportunities here in the exhibition season because the competition has been so good all summer long. It's been really, really good. But if we had to start today, we're playing. We're going to play 10, 12 guys. I mean, we played 12 in that game. Only got Miles in a couple minutes. But Miles, being a freshman, is somebody that I can stick out there and put him out there 94 feet against somebody. He's going to give somebody problems. So we've got a lot of confidence in all these guys, 1 through 14, and we want that competition to continue. And obviously, when you start playing, those are the challenges that happen of how the rotations are going to happen, and you can't foresee injuries and those type of things. But if we can keep this kind of competitive attitude and play a lot of guys, I think we can wear people down.
You guys did those 2 closed-door scrimmages last year. I guess why the open exhibitions this year?
Well, the rule changed, so we're able to play D1s, and to be able to play Division I opponents now, it only made sense. It's something I've been a fan of that for years. I've had no idea why we weren't able to play Division I schools as exhibitions. So, and it's absolutely nothing against D2, D3. I was a D3 coach once, but you don't get to play. A lot of times when you play teams like that, they're smaller, and so you end up playing 5 guards, and so that makes it hard to play Joel. That makes it hard to play Jariah and Ethan when he's healthy. So I think playing the D1 opponents was something that we really favored. So we'll do that all year. Utah's supposed to come back here next year, and so we'll find another road game. But if I can split it to where I get a home game and a road game against a Division I school, that's what we'll continue to do.
Chuck kind of talked about the competitive edge he sees in this team compared to last year's. I guess how would you compare those 2?
Yeah, and again, we're not even to Halloween. Last year's team issues didn't happen until almost December. It didn't handle the challenges of the season after about 7 or 8 games, and so that's what this team. Hopefully, only 4 regulars are back from that team, and they can help the newcomers. I really like our newcomers of where they're from and what they've done. And we've had pretty good knowledge about those guys, of who they are as people first. They're high character guys, and we've talked about it. We got back from our retreat 10 days ago, and we talked about it. Storms are coming. We talk about it all the time. You're either going into a storm, you're in a storm, or you're coming out of a storm, or you want to call them challenges, whatever you want to call them. And we've got to be able to handle those when those things happen during the course of a 5-month season. And that's always going to be that, not just our team, but teams across the country. How they handle those things are really going to be the imprint that you put on your season. And we did not do a good job with that last year. And when those things come this year, we've got to do a better job, both as a staff and as players and teammates have got to do a good job of handling those tough challenges that are ahead.
So this is a request from a Cleveland station, so if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But they asked about your memories of the 1986 Indiana-Cleveland State NCAA tournament game because
Who
it's
asked that?
the 40th anniversary, and apparently it's still a very big deal in Cleveland State that they were able to beat Indiana in a tournament.
Well, I do. I do remember that. I probably remember it differently than what they do because obviously remember the loss, but more importantly, I remember Coach Knight bringing us back, and the rule at the time was you could practice all the way through the Final Four. So we got upset in the first round of the tournament and had to come back for the next 2 weeks, and we practiced every day at least once, if not twice, for the next 2 weeks, knowing the season was over. So that was a very unique practice season that happened after that upset loss. Very fortunate that a year later we were able to go through everybody, so it was fun. I can't. No, I was a part of that team, so it was just as my part of. I was as big a part of it as anybody. So I remember the upset, but I remember what happened after the upset was probably the tell of the tape of how we learned as a team. Those of us that were coming back, we knew we didn't want to experience that again.
Coach, what are some of the challenges in bringing in 10 new players for this season?
Yeah, we just really tried, and not just the players, but a lot of new staff members. Low Leaf coming on staff, Jared coming on, and Jared coming late because Kyle Guy was here for the whole summer, and now Jared getting that opportunity late, obviously somebody that knows us very well, so that transition has been very, very smooth. But Hannah, our new ops lady, is here. Connor, who was a GA, is now video coordinator, 2 new GAs. So we've got a lot of new people on the staff as well. So we've really just tried to drive in from the summer in our 8 weeks of summer play, really working on connectivity. Our trip to Tahoe that weekend, our trip to the Bahamas in the summer, that was huge for us. So all those things lined up really good with a lot of newcomers. And I think, in the era that we're in now, you're going to see a lot of that throughout the country. Hopefully it's not to a level of 10 every year, but I do think you're seeing a huge turnover, not just in players. You're seeing that now in coaching. So it's the era that we're in, and so you got to hope that you do your homework and you don't miss on the character. That's what we really spent a lot of time on when we got into the portal, was making sure it was going to be high character guys, and everything that we've seen from June to the date, we love how they are. More importantly, who they are as people. And the character and the integrity that they come to work with every day, that's what's been pleasing. It's been a very fun team to coach. So, again, we know storms and challenges are coming, and we've got to continue that and handle those when those things happen.
Does it feel like this season really is even more of a clean slate than maybe other years past, given how last season was kind of a disappointing finish?
Yeah, just last year was just disappointing. I've said it. I didn't handle the staff well, and then I think that trickled down into the players didn't handle themselves well, and the leadership that we thought we were going to be really, really old and experienced, and it was going to be one of those teams where they would develop into players managing players, and that I've always said that's when you go from good to great, when you know exactly what the coaches are wanting. And then you're able to do that without actually being coached. And that team just couldn't handle that. And so, that was a poor assumption on our part as a staff, and I didn't manage that part well. And this is, I don't know if it's a clean slate, but it almost feels like that just because there's so many new players and new staff members. So, been a good shot in the arm, I think, from a coaching standpoint, but also just with the quality of young men we're getting to coach. And, I told them that after the game. I said, it's an exhibition game. So win, lose, or draw, it's about getting better. But I stood before him. I said, I love this team. So just continue to allow me to love this team because you're very coachable, you compete, you play hard, you play together, all the qualities that we like to coach. And thus far, that's what they've done.
I understand that Jared coming into the fold was because Kyle left. How did Jared even come into the fold? And the reason I ask that is because his G League numbers were really good last year.
Yeah, it's timing. A lot of it's timing, and Jared unfortunately lost his mother. In late summer or in the middle of summer. Not an easy thing, and Jared has never really been fired up about overseas. I think he was looking G League if something really worked well, and we were talking to him about that. I even called him early in the spring. He knew no idea what I was calling him about, but I never wanted to hint anything because my own son was the same way. I don't want people coming into the coaching realm until they're done playing, and so he wasn't done playing yet. But I do think the loss of mom, wanting to be close to home. His dad's a high school coach, very successful high school coach in Los Angeles, a brother that's at Northridge, being close to home. And when something didn't really fit with the Lakers and the Clippers for him, when Kyle departed, he was my first phone call. And so he prayed about it, he thought about it, and about 24 hours later, he ends up, committing. So getting an individual like that, he's got the respect of the players from day one. He's been able to help us immensely just in the short time he's been here. He's a coach's kid. He gets it, and he's both feet in. It's going to be fun seeing how he evolves. I think he's going to be a great, great coach moving forward.
So to your knowledge, his playing career is over?
To my knowledge, yeah. But if you asked me that about Kyle back in June, I would have told you the same thing. But, yeah, we had a lot of talks, Jared and I, about that, and I wanted to make sure he was for sure it's what he wanted to do, and he has dove into this thing. He loves it. He obviously loves Reno, and Reno has loved him. So it's great for us. It's great having a former player. Usually it doesn't happen just 2 years in, but having somebody that was here 2 years ago and a part of two really good teams, he gets it, and he can help our guys in a lot of ways off the court as much as he can on the court.